Welcome to Entrepreneur State of Mind. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and we have some dynamic women from Delta Dental here with us, Carin and Roota. Welcome to Entrepreneur State of Mind. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's
good morning, Dr. Dale.
Yes, it's an honor to have you. And as we talked before we went on, I want to, audience, I loves to hear, where people grew up and how they got into Delta Dental. So Carin, why don't you start? Where'd you grow up, and how did you end up at Delta Dental?
Sure. So I born and raised in southern New Jersey, at the shore, basically, in Ocean County.
Okay.
And I went to college here in New Jersey, and I actually went to school for communications.
Where'd you go?
I went to Stockton University.
Stockton, great school.
Yeah. So that was kind of my goal, to get into communications. And then I pivoted. I changed to a business degree.
Okay.
And when I graduated, I started working for a general agent in insurance and in employee benefits. So that was my first job out of school, and I really did fall in love with it. I liked all of the aspects of working with small businesses and our brokers, and I was just very interested in the industry. So I have been doing that for 25 years.
Wow.
I went on to work for a very large medical carrier in the state, and then I went to the New York market and spent some time there. I also spent some time in the payroll and workforce solutions industry, which ties in nicely. And that's how I ended up at Delta Dental.
Great. Thanks for sharing. And so, Roota, what's your history? Where'd you grow up, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I actually was born and raised in India.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I am actually a mechanical engineer.
Wow.
And I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and worked for a couple of years as a mechanical engineer, and didn't quite like it. So I said, maybe if I enroll in master's program in mechanical engineering, I might like it. So I came here, I enrolled myself master's mechanical engineering in Stevens Institute of Technology.
Oh, wonderful.
In Hoboken, New Jersey. And after taking a couple of classes, I wasn't really interested in that. So I changed my major, similar to what Carin did, and I ended up doing my master's in information systems from Stevens.
Wow.
And after that, my first job was with a big pharma company in New York. I started doing risk management and information security. And it's been 20 years that I have been in information security industry, and have done several different roles within the security arena, and ended up six and a half years ago as a security executive at Delta Dental of New Jersey and Connecticut, to develop and enhance the security program here at Delta Dental.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Well, you both, 25 and 20 years, you must have started when you were 10, the two of you, because, it's,
Thank you.
You age very well. So first, tell the audience of Delta Dental. What is Delta Dental? And I was in Tennessee, and I saw Delta Dental there, and then, talk about Delta Dental and the business that you guys are working in.
Yeah, so I'll start, or I'll take that one, Dr. Dale. So, it's funny when people think of Delta Dental, oftentimes they'll say, they think we're dentists.
Right.
Or they'll say, where are your offices?
Right.
And we aren't dentists, but we do help small groups and individuals afford their dental care with our dental benefits plans. So for more than 50 years, Delta Dental has been providing access to dental benefit programs of the highest quality, service, and value. And we believe everyone deserves a healthy smile. And just to paint a larger picture, Delta Dental of New Jersey and Connecticut is a part of the larger Delta Dental Plans Association across the country. We are nationwide. There are 39 Delta Dental member companies operating in every state, and we share the brand and the network with all of those companies across the country.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so providing insurance, and so now kind of your competitive advantage. What's the competitive advantage of Delta Dental, or if you even have other competitors that really focus in this space?
Sure. So, well, we have quite a few things that I would consider our competitive advantage, or that we like to call our value proposition. And one of those is that we're a local company.
Right.
We operate in New Jersey. Our sales and our operations, everything is right here in our backyard. Also, we have the largest local and national networks, and we build those networks. We have relationships with all of the dentists. So our members have access to not only the largest local, but the largest national network, and they can be in network anywhere in the country.
Interesting. Roota, now a different question, and I actually was thinking of this morning as I was texting a friend of mine who does information security for Deutsche Bank. I don't know if you followed this. I'm a big tennis player. I was on the board of the United States Tennis Association, about this Chinese tennis player who disappeared, supposedly, and apparently accused one of the high officials of assault and of sexual assault. And then a video came back of her, I think over the weekend or so, of her saying, "I'm fine," and so on. And my friend is in deep fakes, and this idea of deep fakes and this technology. And so have you followed that story at all, or or are you dealing with those kinds of security issues when you talk about information security?
Yeah, so I haven't followed the story, but deepfake, talking about deepfake is definitely a big issue in not only the information security arena, but in an individual's life, right? When some video surfaces, which is not yours, but claiming to be yours, and is ruining your, maybe whether it's your brand or personality or whatever, it definitely proves really, I would say, notorious in that sense. And if it is done against an organization, it definitely tarnishes the brand of that organization. So it is something that is top of mind of a lot of security professionals. And we keep seeing, especially like with celebrities and all, we see, as you mentioned, right, with the tennis player, we see a lot of deep fakes surfacing online. And as audience, right, we can't tell the difference between a real video and a deep fake video. So
is there, as an expert though, is there a way to tell? Is there some unique algorithm or software that can notice some aberrations in that, or they've not developed that yet?
So when we analyze the video in the back end up to a certain extent, we can tell. But as a normal viewer, there is absolutely no way to tell. There could be maybe some discrepancies in the voice or the lip movements or something like that. But overall, for an ordinary individual, it is really, really difficult.
Right, interesting. So Carin, tell me a little bit about your span of control, your responsibility within Delta Dental.
Sure. So I am the sales director for small business and individual broker sales. So what that includes is small businesses, meaning companies that employ between 2 and 50 employees in New Jersey and in Connecticut, and also broker sales for our individual products. So in addition to the small business products that we offer, we sell individual plans for individuals and families, along with ACA certified pediatric plans. So that's my charge, and I manage the sales team. And we're out working with our distribution channels, direct to clients, our brokers, in educating and helping secure policies for both of those markets.
Interesting. And Roota, as far as information security, I mean, there are all sorts of these cyber attacks and other things, and I assume you're working on that on companies where they're ransomware and all that stuff. Is that in your span of control, dealing with that kind of stuff?
Yes, absolutely. Ransomware is something that has been evolving since the past few years and is on top of mind for every organization. We have seen in the news every other day some other company is attacked by ransomware. And these days they've taken a notch higher where they not only ransom your data, but they also threaten to expose your data and put it in public domain, your critical data, your confidential data, whether it's social security numbers or any PII, PHI information of your clients. They threaten to make it public if you don't pay ransom.
Right.
So it's not just about saying that, oh, we are not going to pay ransom, we are going to get our data back from our backups. You can definitely do that. But if they did exfiltrate, the bad guys did exfiltrate the data and are looking to make it public, that is something still a big threat to your organization.
Well, I heard, and I was pleased to hear just recently that the U.S. government, I guess the FBI, was able to get some of the ransomware payments back. Have you followed that? Have you that they, because at first they said you can't track it; it's hard to track it, but they're starting to track it. Is that correct?
Yeah. So see, at the end of the day, our stance and the stance that every organization should take, if they can, is to not pay ransom because you don't know who you are funding by paying that ransom, what kind of group is behind the attack and who you are funding. But if you do end up paying ransom, then there are some of the ransoms that have been tracked and the money has been, recovered up to a certain extent. But those are few and far between. And also, there is no guarantee that once you pay ransom, you get the keys to decrypt the data and they'll never come after you again, or they'll not expose your data to the public domain. So expecting ethical behavior from unethical groups is not really a good expectation. So
Right.
Just because you paid ransom doesn't make you safe.
Doesn't make you safe. Some have said that that the people who do that they, if you pay it, they'll help you get back up because they want to, because if they continue to lie about, we're not going to come back to you, then they lose all credibility and nobody's going to pay in the future. So it's a real interesting business. So we're halfway through the show. We're going to take a short commercial break, and I want to come back and talk a little more about the small business, how you work with small businesses and really help them take advantage of their dental plans. So we will see you back in a minute on Entrepreneurs.
Black Friday used to mean long lines and deals gone in a flash. That was Black Friday then. This is Black Friday now. This year, Target has Black Friday deals all November, with new deals each week, in store and on Target.com. So you can get all the Black Friday savings without all the Black Friday stress. No matter how you shop, it's Black Friday now at Target.
Is everything ready for tomorrow?
Planning, shopping, carrying, washing, slicing, dodging, chopping, weeping, mashing, grating. And now, what oil are you going to use to cook all that effort? Introducing Bertolli Cooking Olive Oil. Ideal for cooking. Bertolli, elevate your every meal.
Welcome to Rowan Medicine's new facility in Sewell, home to Rowan Family Medicine. When you need a trusted physician for your whole family, Rowan Medicine is here for you. We provide routine wellness and preventative care appointments. We help guide you through diagnosis and treatment for a variety of illnesses. And we even connect you with other healthcare specialists. Call today to make an appointment or go to rowanmedicine.com.
Welcome back to Entrepreneur State of Mind. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and we're having just a great conversation with Delta Dental about some of the offerings, especially for small businesses. And so, Carin, I'll go back to you. So you're working with small businesses, you're offering to small businesses. I'm sure you get this, oh, we don't have money, it's a great benefit, we don't have money to deal with that. What do you say to businesses about that?
Absolutely. So first of all, we, at Delta Dental, our small business offering allows a smaller firm to get benefits that are similar to what larger businesses are afforded.
Okay.
A lot of times a smaller firm, maybe they have 10 or 20 employees, they want the big business benefits. Well, they can get that with Delta Dental. Additionally, a lot of employers, smaller employers who are don't feel that they can afford to put a dental plan in place for their employees, they have options they may not know about. And that's in terms of a voluntary offering. So a voluntary offering for small business benefits is when an employer decides to pass on some of the premium costs to the employees, or all of the premium costs to the employees. And this enables the employer to sponsor the benefits and still give the employees an option to enroll. And employer-sponsored benefits are always a better value, and they provide access to plans that individuals would not have access to if they had gone and purchased them on their own. So having an employer-sponsored plan gives you better benefits at a better cost. And it's also a way for employers, especially now with the challenges we're having with, a workforce shortage. It allows, employers to attract and retain and reward employees by giving them access to this dental plan. It is the third most requested benefit by employees.
Oh, is it? Really? Really? Interesting. And what are the first two? Do you know?
I'm sorry, Dr. Dell,
What did you say?
I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
What are the first two? You said this is the third most. Is the first?
Behind medical plans and retirement plans.
Ah, nice. Okay, really? Yeah. And so during the pandemic, where did people go to because of fears of COVID? Did they use medical benefits less? Do you know any stats around that, or I'm curious?
Excuse me. So, I believe your question was utilization of dental plans during pandemic. Yeah. So, as you may be aware, in the beginning of the pandemic, dentist offices, many of them were closed.
Right.
Excuse me. If not, most of them were closed because people couldn't receive dental care, and they were afraid to receive dental care. And some people still are afraid to go back to dentist offices.
Right.
Although we've seen much improvement, this year in terms of reopening. Actually, dentist offices reopened last year.
Right.
But people had to forego care, and really there were dentist offices who were only treating people for emergency services.
Right.
So, and now what we're seeing is, and we've been seeing for this year, is a lot of people who delayed care are now seeing more serious problems because they went without care during that time. Interesting.
And so, Roota, as from an information security side, what are you seeing, as we're moving hopefully away from this pandemic, with these types of plans?
So from a security perspective, what we are seeing is as organizations and employees are working remotely, working in a hybrid environment, the boundaries of a network are diminishing. So now it's not like you're protecting your corporate network, but you are now protecting the internet, which is not really possible. What you are trying to do as an organization is to educate your employee, educate your users to ensure that they follow your security policies and protocols when they are working, not to click on links that look suspicious, not to open an attachment that they were not expecting, not to respond to a text or click on a link to a text or respond to a phone call that is asking for personal information or any kind of critical information. So there is no silver bullet as such, but we as users need to keep our eyes and ears open at all times as we are working in different, I would say, places, whether you're working in your office, whether you're traveling, whether you're working at home or your parents' house or a coffee shop.
Right.
You always need to keep your guards up and ensure that you are protecting not only your own information, but the information you have access to, your client information. So at Delta Dental, we do a lot of security education to our users, and we also actually offer education for their families so we can keep everyone safe and have everyone be a good cyber citizen.
Well, and that's a good point, because I think a lot of businesses don't realize that a lot of these cyber attacks come from when somebody just answers a seemingly innocent email. And now the technology has gotten better where they'll take, a Bank of America logo and it looks like it's really from Bank of America. What are some of the things that people should look for? And I know for me, I always look to see who sent it. And if you see some weird name, if you really look at, the Bank of America would never have sent that. But a lot of people don't even look at that. What advice do you give the employees to check before they open an email?
Yeah, so first is definitely look at where it's coming from.
Right.
Second is if you're not expecting, then you should not open that email. You should not click on anything or respond to it. If you think you know that person or that entity, then you should call them. If it's an entity, call the 1-800 number that you know of and not the 1-800 number in the email.
Right.
If you know a person that supposedly the email came from, you should call that person saying that, hey, did you send me an email with this attachment?
Right.
I was not expecting it. Also look for grammatical errors. There will be urgency in that email, so they don't want you to think and look for loopholes in the email.
Right.
They try to create urgency so you respond or click because of the panic that it tries to create. So always need to keep our guards up and ensure that by mistake we don't click on anything or open something we are not supposed to. Traditionally, I like to believe that nobody has malicious intent.
Right.
It usually happens because someone made a mistake. There are, cases where somebody had a malicious intent and a breach happened. But for the most part, it's not a malicious intent. It is a mistake that somebody clicked on a link and brought ransomware in. So just to stop your users are your first line of defense. I can have all the bells and whistles and all kind of technologies put in, but if I don't educate the user and they click on something and bring in the ransomware, there is little as an organization we can do.
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good point, and it's really good information for the business owners that are watching. And so, Carin, as you talk to small businesses, and your footprint is the entire state of New Jersey and New York and Connecticut, or what's your footprint? Those three states?
So our footprint is New Jersey and Connecticut.
New Jersey and Connecticut.
Correct.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, that's where we work with businesses in those two states. But I keep talking about the network because it is very important. And, our network is the largest locally and nationally. And why this matters is because when members stay in the network, they experience the greatest level of savings.
Right.
Our in-network utilization is over 90%. And, this means that members incur less out-of-pocket charges by accessing these networks. And we also credential all of our network dentists.
Okay.
So it's a real advantage, and it's one of our value propositions to our members.
And let me ask, and I know, I mean, if you had the answer, you'd be a billionaire. But the healthcare costs, and how do we manage healthcare costs, and what advice do you have to people, to consumers, to really kind of manage their expenses around healthcare?
That is an excellent question, and I do have an answer. And I would say, there is a direct correlation between your oral health and your overall health.
Interesting.
And when there is a dental benefit available to, and we're speaking about small businesses, so I'll just say employees, right. The statistics show that people tend to utilize those benefits. So they are going for preventive care. They are finding things, and oftentimes, if you're going for that preventive care, if something does happen, it's early detection, right? The other thing that's important is to know is that there are over 120 diseases that present themselves in the mouth. Yeah. So if your dentist finds those or detects them early and you get early treatment, the outcomes are better. So right. Dental really does have an impact on your medical care, and the premiums across the board, whether it's dental or medical, if your workforce is healthy and they're identifying things early, that is going to have a direct impact on medical premiums and medical spend for employees.
Really, that's a really good, really good point. And so, we're all trying to, budgets are tighter than ever, and people are really looking at how to spend and save money. And it's almost like, it's like your car, your mouth, is that if you don't invest in it, if you don't pay a little bit up front, you're going to pay a lot later on.
Exactly.
And so, and one of the things I'll say, and we're nearing the end of time, is that, we've just enjoyed working with Delta Dental at Fairleigh Dickinson Rothman Institute. This is a time when businesses want to keep as many employees as possible, and these kinds of benefits are the ones that separate you from others. And so, I don't know if you want to say a little more about that, Carin, as we end up. But this is a great opportunity for businesses to take advantage of a cost-effective benefit.
Absolutely, and as I mentioned, our benefits, we have a lot of benefits to choose from for small employers and individuals who maybe don't qualify for a group benefit. It's really what the employer wants to pay. They can kind of design their contribution strategy, and really, if they understand their workforce, they can put a plan in that's going to work for everyone, or multiple plans. So we really have those that run the gamut and that can meet the needs of a small employer who maybe doesn't have as much to spend, or a small employer who has more to spend. So we really can meet the needs of everyone on the spectrum.
And so as we close, how do they get in touch with you? What's your website? What's the phone number? Sure. If someone wants to talk to you.
So for anyone who's interested in learning more, getting more information, or getting an instant quote, they can go to yoursmilepower.com. And if they, I'd love to speak with someone who's interested. My team, we can help. My email is chep@deltadentalnj.com, or you can call me directly at 201-400-1282, and we'd be more than happy to help.
Well, thank you so much, Carin and Roota. This has really been fascinating. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure our audience has. So thank you both. It's an honor to have you. And the Entrepreneur State of Mind audience, we will see you next week. And thanks again for watching. Take care.
Thank you for having me.